And round 9 of the 125cc National Championship Series is about to get underway. Let's take a look at the standings in this 125 class. Mike Kiedrowski is on top with 325. Then comes defending 125 champ Guy Cooper. He's in second place with 279. Jeff Ebbing is third. Brian Swink fourth. Steve Lamson rounds out the top 5. The gate has been dropped, and the first moto in the 125 class is underway. Toward the field of 40, heads down that long, wide straightaway into that first corner where there's not an awful lot of room, and we've got a big tangle in between corner number 1 and 2. Several riders went down. Did not affect Guy Cooper, though. The defending champ is out front, and I might also add the defending Washougal champion. He was the winner here just 1 year ago. That was the race that turned the championship tide for him as he went on to take the championship after winning at Washougal. Might also point out that Jean-Michel Bale injured here at Washougal while leading the championship chase just 1 year ago. Guy Cooper out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. Team Suzuki holds down the number 1 position. And for Cooper, this is an excellent opportunity to pick up some championship points. Mike Kiedrowski was involved in that pile-up between corners number 1 and 2. More on that in just a second. Here's Larry Ward from Snohomish, Washington, currently residing in Society Hill, South Carolina. He blasts by Guy Cooper to take over the number 1 position. Now, Cooper and Ward are Suzuki teammates. You would think possibly that Ward might be holding back just a little bit to protect that number 1 position for Guy Cooper. Let Cooper get the number 1 points to catch Kiedrowski. But at this point in time, I rather doubt that either Cooper or Ward know that Kiedrowski is well back in the pack. Now, we're watching the pack through this big, long tabletop jump, and I have not seen Mike Kiedrowski. There he is to the right of your screen, rider number 4. Kiedrowski way at the tail end of the pack, and they're still clearing the wreckage from that crash that took place just after corner number 1. Several of the 500cc riders out there helping. Mike LaRocco was at the bottom of that pile, and LaRocco just looked down at his handlebar and gave a thump of disgust. Evidently, he has some kind of problem that, and indeed he does. It looks like they're working on the motorcycle as the riders are going to put LaRocco at least 1 lap down. Now, that in itself is not critical because LaRocco was not in the championship chase. He's only ridden one 125 race this year. He did it just 1 week ago, or I should say he did it in the opening round of the 125 class at Millville, Minnesota, and he won that one. But he's not going to be a championship contender. He's only there because Suzuki does not have a 500cc motorcycle, so LaRocco is riding the 125 just to keep busy. Larry Ward out front. He's followed by Guy Cooper in the number 3 position, number 29 aboard the Peak Antifreeze Pro Circuit Honda. I believe that was Steve Lamson. Running 4th was Buddy Antonez, another Suzuki rider. Then Doug Henry, all the way from Connecticut, holding down the number 5 spot. Henry is rider number 31. Larry Ward, incidentally, is another rider that has not competed in the 125 class on a regular basis. He, too, rode the 250s earlier this season. We'll be back with more race action from Washougal right after this. Welcome back. You're watching National Championship Motocross from Washougal, Washington. It's the 125 class, the opening moto of 2, and out front, it's Team Suzuki all the way. Larry Ward, rider number 10, is the leader. He took that lead from Guy Cooper on the opening lap. Cooper, rider number 1. Cooper is in second place in the standings, and Ward is not a contender, so the surprise kind of continues here. Why Team Suzuki would not have Larry Ward drop off the pace and allow Cooper to go ahead and take the championship points away from him. Meanwhile, Cooper has every intention of doing that all by himself. Maybe the thought is they don't need to ask Larry Ward to drop back, that Cooper is just going to be able to get the job done by his lonesome. Cooper now has put several bike lengths on Larry Ward. I should say has gained several bike lengths when we went away to commercial just a couple of moments ago. Ward had a rather healthy lead over Cooper, but Cooper has eaten most of that up and looks like he can close on Ward at will, although has not been able to make a pass. Now Cooper again draws to the rear wheel of Larry Ward. Ward from nearby Snohomish, Washington, and look at the crowd cheering Ward on. I'll tell you, Ward always performs well when he's in front of his hometown crowd. He won the Supercross in the Seattle Kingdome a couple of years ago, came close to doing it again this year, and there's Mike Kiedrowski, the championship points leader. Kiedrowski involved in an opening lap crash, and he is well back in the pack, running somewhere around mid-pack at this point. Has not yet cracked at least the top 13, and Larry Ward goes down. Larry Ward, rider number 10 from Snohomish, Washington, currently residing in Society Hill, South Carolina, hit a slick spot on the racetrack, and he just lost the front end of the motorcycle. He went down easily. He got right back up, got right back on the motorcycle, but in the meantime, Guy Cooper has taken over the number 1 position. Cooper in second place in the standings can make up a pile of points on Mike Kiedrowski in this moto. Now, Larry Ward has bounced right back in his home holding that number 2 position, and he's giving chase like he has every intention of catching Cooper. Can he do it? This moto is going to draw to a close here. Just a couple of moments left, and it's going to be done. Just a couple of laps, I should say, and it's going to be history. It's going to go down to the wire as Ward has really picked up the pace and now has closed on Guy Cooper. Cooper takes that outside line. Larry Ward cut to the inside. The crowd here at Washougal is going nuts and cheering and pulling. They're waving everything except their underwear at Larry Ward and urging him to catch the fleeing Guy Cooper. They really don't care about championship points here. What they want to see is the hometown boy do good. Now Ward is drawn right up to the rear wheel of Guy Cooper, less than a bike length separating the two front runners. Ward makes an inside move, but Cooper had the good line, got on the gas, and holds down the number 1 spot. The crowd watching and waiting as the riders disappeared up into the trees, this uphill portion of the Washougal track. Now they come back down again, and it's still Guy Cooper holding on to the lead at Washougal, Washington. Right behind, though, and a threat to take this moto is there he goes to the outside. Larry Ward looking for some kind of running room up over the top of that big tabletop jump, and Ward has made the pass. Can he hold it? He does. He makes it stick. Larry Ward, for the second time today, has moved into the number 1 spot here in Washougal, Washington. It's the opening moto in the 125 class. Larry Ward, rider number 10 out front. Guy Cooper holding down the number 2 position. Third place right now is Steve Lansom. They're well off the pace. Eric Kehoe is running in a number 5 position. He's another favorite here in Washington. Fourth place, I believe it was Brian Swink the last time around, but who cares? Here's the leader. He's going to win moto number 1, Larry Ward out of Snohomish, Washington. The hometown crowd will go nuts tonight, and Ward takes the checkered flag. Guy Cooper will follow him across the line in the number 2 position. Finishing third, it's going to be Steve Lansom, then Brian Swink, Eric Kehoe, and it looks like Mike Kidrowski is moving up through the pack, and he'll finish 6th. We'll be back with more motocross action right after this. Welcome back to Washougal, Washington. I'm Larry Myers. This is National Championship Motocross. Earlier today, we watched a pair of motos, one each in the 125 and 500cc classes. Still to come, 2 more motos, one each from those 2 classes. On the line, the 125s. Keep your eye on the starter. He's in the center of the track there all by himself. When that board goes sideways, he runs. You bet it went sideways, and he ran, just barely making it out of the way as 40 of the fastest 125 riders in the world streak toward corner number 1. Will they avoid? No, they did not. I was just going to say, will they avoid a pileup like they had in moto number 1? Now, it wasn't nearly as bad, but there was a small one. Meanwhile, Brian Swink from that pro circuit peak antifreeze team, rider number 42 out of Fenton, Michigan, takes the hole shot in the second moto. He's not going to look back. Swink is just buried the hammer, and he is well in front of the rest of this field already. Behind Swink was Cliff Palmer, then Buddy Antunez, rider number 20. Now, earlier I said that Antunez was on a Suzuki. That's what he's been riding all year long, but I think Antunez has switched. That looked like a Yamaha when they flashed by that go-around. We'll try to get more information on that for you. Antunez has moved into the number 2 position, rider number 20, Buddy Antunez, holding down second. Palmer dropping back to third. Is still out front Brian Swink. Now, well back in the pack, Mike Kidrowski, the championship points leader, and Guy Cooper. Cooper did not get a good start this go-around. Larry Ward, the winner of moto number 1, is not too far off the pace. He's well up inside the top 10, and he's ready to make a move. In fact, Ward is already working his way through the pack. There was Ward going to the inside, and Ward had taken over the number 3 position. It's Swink, Antunez, Larry Ward, and Mike LaRocco in that order, and I thought I saw I thought I saw rider number 25. That would be Steve Lamson creeping up into the number 5 position. But Brian Swink out of Fenton, Michigan could care less about all of that. Swink cast a quick look over his shoulder, and he sees absolutely no one. Swink is really hammering on this rough Washougal racetrack. Swink has taken over that number 1 position. He did that in the first corner, and there has been no one near him. Cliff Palmer was the earliest challenger. He didn't last long. Buddy Antunez took a crack at Swink, and there is Antunez, rider number 20, aboard the Yamaha. He's riding that one for the first time. Larry Ward is running 3rd, Mike LaRocco 4th, Steve Lamson is 5th. Running back in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, it looks like about 10 or 11, was Mike Kidrowski, and well behind Kidrowski is Guy Cooper. So the favorites in this class are not doing well at all here today. Back into view comes Larry Ward and Mike LaRocco. Brian Swink is long gone. Here's 3rd now. Buddy Antunez. Antunez dropping off the pace. Fifth place is still the property. And there is Mike Kiedrowski now moving up. And Kiedrowski, I believe, is all the way up to the number 7 position. Swink is out front. Larry Ward second. Mike LaRocco is third. Buddy Antunez fourth. Steve Lamson is fifth. In the number 6 position, it's rider number 125. That's Jeremy McGrath. And in 7th is rider number 4. That's Mike Kiedrowski. Here's a battle now for the number 2 position. Larry Ward and Mike LaRocco going at it. We had Suzuki teammates in Moto number 1 that hammered each other. That was Cooper and Ward. This time it's Suzuki teammates, LaRocco and Ward. And just like that, LaRocco goes to the outside of Ward, and he takes over the number 2 position. Now, these riders have nothing to lose or gain in terms of points out here today. They really don't care who wins the championship. It's out of their grasp. They did not ride, as I told you earlier, in this 125 class at the outset of the season. They rode the 250cc National Championship Series. When the 250cc Series came to an end, Suzuki did not have a 500cc bike, so they said, hey, we don't want you to sit around and be idle. We want you to earn your money, earn your keep out there, guys. So they put them on 125cc machines. Both of them right now not only battling each other, but trying to catch the fleeing Brian Swink. Swink from Fenton, Michigan, holding down the number 1 spot. Winner of the opening moto was Larry Ward. Mike LaRocco finished way back. He was involved in that first corner pileup, and we have since learned that when he went down, one of the handlebars of one of the other riders that landed on top of him, a handlebar actually went through the opening in LaRocco's helmet. You can see that face guard that's built out around the lower portion of the helmet. It went right down behind that face guard, and they had all kinds of trouble because there were motorcycles on top of LaRocco, handlebar in that opening, and he kept telling them, hey, watch what you're doing. Don't jerk that bike. You're ripping my head off. Then to top it all off, when LaRocco got up, he discovered, and we've got a rider down. Mike LaRocco goes down. LaRocco was catching. He was catching Swink. Look at that. Look at the lead that he had over Larry Ward. He was really putting the moves on Swink. He come around that corner and just lost it. He got up and still held on to the number 2 position. That's how far out in front of Ward he was and how close to Brian Swink. You'll see Swink. There he is. Swink going in the other direction. LaRocco has already opened up about a 10-bike length lead over Larry Ward. Let's go back and take a look at what happened after LaRocco got up. Watch this. Ward tries to come around the outside. LaRocco's not cutting any slack at all. Here's one more look at it from another direction. See there? LaRocco really doesn't even know that Ward is coming. Didn't pay any attention. Ward tried to sneak around that outside, and just a little minor altercation there between Suzuki pals and Suzuki teammates. Swink finished 4th in that opening moto, so all LaRocco has to do, or I should say all Larry Ward has to do, is sit back and collect that number 3 position, and he's going to walk off with the overall honors for the day. Brian Swink heads for the checkered flag, and aboard his pro circuit, Peak Antifreeze Honda, he takes it, wins moto number 2. Coming in number 2 position will be Mike LaRocco. Ward will coast home 3rd. When I talk about the overall position of the day, there is an overall winner. They combine the points earned in each of the 2 points-paying motos. The guy that comes out on top is the winner. The motos, though, are scored independent of each other. Ward wins it. Brian Swink finishes 2nd. It's Cooper in 3rd overall. Lamson 4th. Jeremy McGrath rounding out the top 5. We'll be back with 500 action right after this.
The all-new Geomax MX34 is the latest result of Dunlop's ongoing development with the help of top motocross pros. The all-new Geomax MX34 is the new industry standard for soft to intermediate terrain. Experience the advantage